How to improve concentration in multilingual kids. On today's video, I want to share with you 7 tips on how to help your kids focus. Growing up successfully multilingual requires to be fit and sharp in the mind. Also, stay tuned until the end for our Easter freebie and figure out why you should let your child get bored more often. Coming up next. Hi there, Andrea here, teacher specialized in languages. On this channel I share with you tips and tricks and useful material, so if you're new here, consider subscribing and signing up to my email list for free material. First of all, before I jump into the tips, I just want to say that in order for kids to be able to learn well, which means to be able to focus and concentrate, their basic needs need to be covered. They need to sleep 8 to 10 hours, eat healthy, be hydrated, feel safe, and have enough physical activity. Once this is covered, you can move on to the next tips. Tip number 1, play board games. I cannot emphasize enough how important board games are for children. Through them, kids can learn a variety of useful skills. They expand their concentration span, learn to build up strategies, practice patience, and develop their memory and social skills. It's wonderful! If you want to do your multilingual children a favor, play games with them. By the way, there is a free Easter game at the end of this video. Tip number 2, reduce screen time. Don't get me wrong, I love apps, programs, movies, videos for kids. I use them with my own children and students in school. There's plenty of high-quality educational content for children out there, but you have to sort the online material out. I'm sorry, but there is also a lot of cyber garbage out there. Unfortunately, most of the online material is saturated with colors and sounds and movements. Children get bombarded with sensory details, literally. And when they are exposed to that too often, they don't learn to wait. Because the visual and auditive stimulation doesn't require patience. It happens non-stop. So when kids are asked to focus on a task that doesn't have any colorful animals jumping around and making sounds, they struggle. They are unable to focus, unable to concentrate. They get used to having constant entertainment with fatal consequences for their academic career. Tip number 3, awaken curiosity. If you want your multilingual children to be attentive and practice a certain language, for example, they need to be curious about it. You can, for instance, ask interesting questions, wrap the task around a fun game, anticipate or tease what will happen next without giving away the result. Or you can let them participate in the decision-making process, giving them options and taking their opinion seriously. That works very well for my daughter. Those are just some ideas on how to get them curious. Tip number 4, break down tasks. If the level of whatever your child is supposed to do is too hard, it is very likely that he won't be able to hold his concentration, and even worse, will lose motivation. That is why you must constantly adapt the activities or exercises to his level. Keep that in mind when practicing a target language at home. Tip number 5, establish routines. Children need routines, and they also like them because it gives them security and a feeling of stability. If your child is having a hard time with a specific activity, just make a ritual out of it and repeat it regularly on the same place at the same time. Tip number 6, keep away distractions. When your children are supposed to focus on reading, for example, make sure to keep the surroundings as simple as possible and clear up the space. And that way, they won't even have a chance to get distracted. Tip number 7, enough free time. I'm going to be totally honest with you so that you can learn from my mistakes and make wiser decisions for your multilingual family. During the first 3 years of my daughter's life, my husband and I used every minute we had to interact with her and expose her as much as possible to our 3 languages. And that turned out great in terms of language development. She is now 4 and can speak and understand 3 languages plus Swiss German without a problem. We are impressed on how well she's doing, really. But on the other hand, as soon as she started talking, we realized that our persistent effort of exposing her enough to our target languages also had a negative side. Because we were doing things with her all the time, she had a hard time playing by herself. In other words, she had gotten used to being stimulated and entertained at all times. She was not used to get bored. When we realized that, we knew that it was time for her to get a sibling to pull her down off the throne. That worked out well. So, what's the problem with getting stimulation, you might ask? Well, it's good, but only up to a certain point. Our brains seek stimulation. That's part of our nature, and when we don't get inputs, something else happens. We get bored. But boredom is essential for developing creativity. The problem with overstimulating our children is that they never get to experience boredom and therefore don't have the chance to let their brains and minds wander. See, when our minds wander, brilliant ideas have space to arise. As Tolkien once said, "Not all those who wander are lost." Wise words. Now comes my freebie for this week. Help your multilingual children develop their concentration and learn how to focus by playing Easter Bingo. It's ready for all my email subscribers, thank you very much, under this video. If you haven't signed up yet, do so now by clicking on the link below and you will be able to download, print and play Easter Bingo for free in no time.
Påskebingo.
Påskebingo. Godt. Okay, far.
Bingo!
Ja, er du klar med mig? Hjælper du mig?
Jetzt ist es gleich.
Hvad
Primero esos. Bueno.
Permíteme spiele.
Okay, den får Niels.
Ya. ¿Ya tienes tu carta?
Sí, ya
Ya, yo tengo la mía y Nils también necesita una.
Ajá,
Ya.
Ja, Niels, den er til
A ver,
dig.
Laia, vas a
Den er til dig.
chupa.
La,
Ahí.
no sé.
Yo te ayudo. Esta es los narcisos.
Los narcisos, yo tengo.
Yo no tengo narcisos.
Far, du?
Jeg har nogle blomster, men det er vist nogle andre blomster.
Jeg har erst som nogle glokkeblume.
Er det ikke påskelilje?
No, eso se llama en alemán Osterglocken. Osterglocken.
Er det min
Ja.
tur?
Acabaste, Nils.
Nå, jeg har fået forår.
Nej, det har jeg ikke.
Mira, él tiene la primavera, Laia.
Niels. Du leger med dem der.
Él tiene la Pascua. Yo tengo Pascua. ¿Tienes la Pascua?
¿Cómo se ve?
No, la Pascua. ¿Qué está hablando? Tienes la primavera. ¿No?
No.
Ya. ¿Chupa?
Un pincel.
Un pincel.
Kom herhen, Niels.
Yo tengo un pincel.
Yo
Vi
también.
har en pensel.
Pencil.
Vi har en pensel. Vil du putte den på der? Put den på der.
Jeg sidder der i siden.
Ja, sådan.
Muy bien. Ahora le toca al Fa.
No alcanzo así.
En påskehare.
Un conejito de Pascua. Yo tengo un conejito de Pascua.
Jeg har også.
¿Tienes?
Det har jeg ikke.
Qué suerte. Oh, ¿qué traes ahí, Nils? Yo tengo la hierba. La hierba donde se esconde el conejito de Pascua.
Jo, nu.
¿Tienes
Far,
hierba?
du har no.
Hvad er det, noget græs?
Det er græs. Jeg har ikke græs.
Nå, nej, så skal jeg da tage den der. Græs. Hvems tur er det?
Mi tur.
No, me toca a mí.
¿Por qué?
Yo voy primero. Yo tengo la iglesia. ¿Alguien tiene la iglesia?
Yo.
Yo no tengo ninguna iglesia. Porque la Pascua
Tú.
es una fiesta
En kirke.
religiosa, ¿no? Te toca a ti.
Bueno, tengo que chupar. Oh, tengo dos.
¿Qué te salió?
Un huevo de Pascua.
Yo no tengo. ¿Tiene el fa?
Far,
Påskeæg? Nej, jeg har ikke noget påskeæg.
jeg har. Jeg kun tre.
Cuidado, mira.
Påskeæg.
Mami, tú, yo tengo solo tres.
Solo te faltan tres. A mí me faltan más. Yo tengo 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 que me faltan a mí. Dale, fa.
Er det min tur?
6.
¿Qué tenemos ahí?
En rede.
Like.
Un nido. ¿Sabes por qué hay nido? No. Porque en primavera los pajaritos ponen huevos. Y la Pascua es en primavera.
Buenísimo.
Ay, ¿qué crees? ¿Que ahí hay un huevo de Pascua? ¿Tú cómo sabes eso? ¿Tú cómo sabes eso?
¿De mi tur?
Anda a limpiar por ahí, mira.
Mami,
Mami,
Anda a limpiar allá los polvos. Yo ya saqué. Ah, no, me toca a mí, ¿cierto? A ver, yo tengo aquí una canasta de huevos.
Yo
Para
tengo.
poner todos los huevos de Pascua.
Ya.
Uy, solo te faltan 2, ya nos vas a ganar, ay. Chupa, chupa.
Pollito.
Un pollito. Yo también tengo
Pollito.
un pollito.
Y esto.
Un pollito. Eso es un pollito, Nis. Mira, pollito.
Er det min tur?
Pío, pío.
No, no, mira.
Ay, ya no tengo. Eso es
Har vi den? En høne, eller?
un cordero.
Mami, no tengo.
Bingo!
Oh, Elsa ganó. Que la gallina no salió todavía.
High five, Niels.
So friends, that was it for today. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a comment, like and subscribe. This was Multilingual Family. Keep on doing a great job and talk to you soon.